welcome back to my channel. It's JVceo, and if you're tuning in for the first time, or if you're a returning subscriber, or just someone coming to pre my video, pause the video right now. I like it. Right, now that's done, so today I'm going to talk to you about my biggest fears. I was thinking about this the other day, a couple weeks ago, and I thought, you know what, this would make for a really good video, because I think we all have fears. And I think a lot of you will probably share to some of the fears that I'm going to put out in this video. But with that being said, honestly, do drop some comments in the comment section, because it lets me know how good the videos are doing, whether you enjoy it or whether you don't, and whether you're the first to comment or not. And who knows, maybe next month, I might just pick someone out of the comment section and give them something quite tangible. I'm an introverted extrovert, right? For me, what that means is I love my space, I love my inner peace, and that sort of stuff. And I think one of my biggest fears is being consumed by noise and losing my inner peace. My inner peace gives me a sense of belonging. That's my sanctuary, whatever you want to call it. So I think that's one of my huge fears, like ever losing my inner peace. And losing my inner peace could take form in the sense of maybe being around bad company, or maybe being around staying in an unhappy job, for example. That's like losing my inner peace. I think that's a huge fear for me, man. But my inner peace is what keeps me creative. That's what helps me get videos like this out. That's what keeps my business mind going. My inner peace, I think, is what's taken me this far, and I think that's what's made me resilient as much as I am. And once I lose my inner peace, I think I'd lose all 100%. On to point number 2: poor health. Poor health. In a weird way, I hope you guys don't take this wrong. I don't really care about myself. It's hard to explain it, but I believe in qui sera sera. If you know Spanish, that translates to what will be, right? And for myself, I'm not too fussed about myself. I always feel like, bro, like I'm a blessed individual, I'm a blessed human. I'd always have the best chances in life, and like, you know, the universe and the forces just aligns for me, right? So I'm never worried about myself, but then I'm worried about like my family. I'm worried about my close friends, and poor health, you know, for my friends or family. And poor health for like my family, I think that's one of my big fears, man. And actually taking that a step further, I start to think like, oh, like my dad's getting older, my mum's getting older. Like, what does poor health? What does their health look like in future? That sort of stuff. You know, are they going to be old and healthy? Are they going to be old and sick? God forbid, touch wood, that's not the case. You know, but that's another big fear of mine, man. Literally stuff like that. Or even like, let's say my friend's mum, for example. I'm like, oh, are they going to be old and healthy? That sort of stuff. So poor health for my family members definitely gives me sleepless nights. And with that being said, I think the best you could do is keep healthy, exercise, lose the gut, especially for someone like me, so that when I'm, you know, in those ages, or when I'm up in age, by the people that come after me ain't worried about me in terms of my health and so on and so forth, because you are what you are what you eat, essentially speaking. Anyways, moving on from that, point number 3 in terms of my third biggest fear in life, and this is in no particular order: being an absentee, or even worse, a bad father. I ain't got no kids yet, and I don't have any plans to have any kids in the near future. But when I think about that, and when I see certain things around me, and I think, you know what, like, regardless of what the relationship is with the mother of your child and so on and so forth, I think you always have to stand up and be counted as a man, right? And as a father, more importantly. And I think that's one of my biggest fears. I just hope that, that's never a portion of mine, because regardless, I would always aim to be an active parent, always aim to be an active father. And when I see, the devastation that, just growing up with one parent causes in our community, in our society, I wouldn't wish that on my offsprings. So 100%, being an absentee father, or in fact being a bad father, is is a huge one for me. What constitutes being a bad father, though? That's quite subjective, isn't it? But for me, I think being a good father, essentially speaking, is being a role model, having your finances intact, so that your kids could actually have an easier life than you have already, and having a happy environment so that the child can actually thrive within that environment. Moving on from that, point number 4. Oh, it's a big one. This is a huge one for me. Because if you know me, you'd know that I'm a free spirit and I love to travel. And once you cage me down in one area, I'm no longer a free spirit. And that's not to say that, God forbid, prison is not my portion. But that's not to say that I can't deal with that, because it's all in the mind. It's just a mental switch, but that's not what we're talking about, and that's not my portion anyways. But if, like, for example, during this lockdown, it's been very tough for me because obviously I've been stuck in the UK. Last year I flew out probably about 9 times. This year I've flown out probably, I think, twice, or so. I'm not too sure. I'd say twice. Yeah, I'd say twice. You know, but being locked down to a particular, basically being confined to somewhere and not having the freedom to explore the world. The world's beautiful, man. I remember when I graduated, my graduation video, I basically said, the world's mine, the world's my oyster, and, like, you know, now it's time to get out there and conquer. And I think once you kind of take that away from me, that ability to just be where I want to be. I love cultures, man. I love meeting people. If you take that away from me, it would make me unhappy. I think if you ever said, oh, JV, John, whatever you know me as, stop traveling, I think I'll just become an unhappy person, 100%. Traveling, it gives me solace. I think that's the word, isn't it? Yeah, I think traveling gives me peace. So that's another way of ensuring my inner peace, traveling. And in fact, I always recommend it, because a lot of people talk about being depressed. A lot of people talk about being unhappy. And when I ask them, like, do you ever travel? They're like, nope, I just live and die in a block that I grew up in, or in the area that I grew up in. And for me, it's about going out there, exploring the world, seeing what's out there, and most importantly, just connecting with other great individuals all around the world. It leads me to point number 5. Can I ever be broke? I don't think I can, but nonetheless, that's still a fear of mine. Being broke and stagnated. I guess rather than saying being broke, I should really say being poor, because being poor is a circumstance. Being broke is a circumstance. Being poor is, I guess, a mindset. So, you know, you could go through life and have different stages where you're broke, and, you know, you get above that. But being poor and stagnated, just losing the drive in me, man. I think that's one of my biggest fears in life. Just not being able to be a provider, be a breadwinner, because that's what I am at the moment. I think that there would totally confuse me. That would definitely just poison my mind in general, and that would just make me unhappy, man. I probably wouldn't want to come out of my house, and so on and so forth. That's not to say that I'm married to money, but let's be honest, money does make the world go round. Money does make bad situations bearable, and I think in this day and age, man, just not having good finances behind you and being stagnated, it is quite an unhappy feeling, man. Definitely an unhappy feeling. That means I can't travel. Nah, definitely not. And on to the final point in terms of my biggest fears in life: having a child with the wrong woman. I don't need to explain that, but I see some of my friends, right? Some of you are probably watching this video and I'm thinking, how do you manage? Because your baby mum is a witch. How do you manage? You know? And I think that's one of my biggest fears, because, like, once you have that pact with the person, once you have that common sort of factor, once you have that bond in the child with that person, the woman, you can't get away from them for life. I know people say, oh, until the child is 18, but even after the child is 18, unfortunately, that child now forms the link between the both of you. That's blood, you know? You can't get away from that. And I think one of the worst pain in life is having a child with the wrong woman. Someone that brings you headache, or in fact the wrong person, because you might be a woman watching this video and it's having a child with the wrong guy. But remember, this is coming from my perspective. This is my biggest fears, my 6 biggest fears in life. And yeah, I don't think that is probably one of I would say that's top 2. Even though, like I said, it's in no particular order. I would say having a child with the wrong woman definitely has to be top 2 or top 3. But that's that. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this kind of different styled videos, and make sure you leave a comment down below, man. Make sure you leave a comment down below, share the video, and keep subscribing, guys. I don't know when you watch this, but we may be on 1,000 subscribers, or we may be very close to it. But yeah, keep subscribing, keep supporting, and I will try and give you guys a lot of great content coming into 2021, where we're upgrading the production in terms of the camera, the scenery, everything. We're upgrading everything, man. Just bear with us, and we're definitely getting there. I hope you're enjoying these videos anyways, and stay blessed and stay engaged. Make sure you watch all the videos, like, subscribe, comment, and share it.